We just had the Game Awards, and I'll tell you what, man, honestly, not that bad. We saw a lot of interesting things come out of it, some good, some not so good, and we talked a lot about that on the show this week. But I'll tell you what, there is one point of our show that we had to highlight, and this is really, really important. It's a section about an award that we think is just a total fraudulent thing that happened, and we encourage you guys to check this out. Watch all the way to the end, because there's a Twitter thread that we read that lays it out perfectly by this guy, Moriarty. He's a content creator, great content creator. You need to find him over on YouTube, subscribe to his channel. So appreciate sticking all the way to the end. I did want to let you guys know, I mentioned this earlier in this week, we do have an affiliate link over at Magic Mind. If you guys haven't seen them, they're awesome. I've been using it for the past 15 days. It's like this total, like, it's like a shot of like mental acuity almost. I feel really like calm but sharp at the same time. It's like these tiny little 2-ounce bottles. It's green, but it actually tastes good. So I encourage you guys to check it out. I'll put a link to it down below. They are an affiliate of ours, and I've been using it, and honestly, like, I don't know, I just feel good. So check out Magic Mind down below. Use magicmind.com/sidestrollers and get a discount. All right, like I said, stick around to the end of this thing. This just rips this entire award a new one. It's a clip from our show. Appreciate you guys popping in. Hit that thumbs up button. Okay, but let's talk about the one, I would say the controversy out of last night. The one big controversy last night, which was a new award that was announced, which was given out for the first time. And this was to a gentleman named Amir Sedvat. And Jeff came on stream and was talking about this new award and how it's all about being a game changer. He's a game changer. So they announced this new award, and I want to roll this clip here. And while we're watching this, just see how this person is presented. Okay? Let's go check this out.
Starting in early 2023, significant waves of layoffs started in the games industry.
It strikes you, it hurts, right? It's like a ton of bricks.
What am I supposed to do?
Tens of thousands of gamers have been laid off at a level that is unprecedented in the industry's history.
I love this brand, I love this company. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do?
I actually started in games relatively late. Even though I've loved the industry ever since I was a little child, because there weren't games jobs around here, I stayed passionate about it and broke through in basically my late 30s. I had seen a few friends get laid off before Thanksgiving, and I said to my wife, Jess, like, this is unacceptable.
Uh-oh, what you giggling about, Bear?
It's so fucking stupid. It's so scripted and just bad.
Of course. Well, it's all going to make sense here in about a minute. So here we go. And by the way, look at this poor little YouTuber here. So small, endearing,
Yeah.
sweet, a little Mario outfit, less than 5,000 subscribers. Hey, you can do it, big guy. And he's doing it. He's helping people find jobs in video games. Let's continue.
Hi everybody, it's Amir, and I'm here to help support you as you look for your next opportunity in video games. I can't imagine what it must feel like for someone to have to go to their family around the holidays and say, I don't have a job, I don't know what's going to happen. I had a robust background in things like data analysis, and I said, well, I can do something with this. I started a community with one resource.
We just started putting together a list of all the job openings out there.
And over iteration after iteration, it ended up becoming a suite of several different resources. We have 2,300 coaching volunteers who've given people over 50,000 community coaching conversations for free.
He's pure pro bono, Amir.
There is no payment. He doesn't take anything back from the community.
I'm proud to say we've helped place nearly 3,000 people in jobs.
Amir is like career Santa Claus.
If it weren't for Amir and for this community, I wouldn't have even known this job was here.
He has created this like beacon of light.
All right. There he is. This little YouTuber here, he's finding jobs for people. Vera, what a great guy.
I know. What a nice man.
Truly a game changer. Now,
Yeah.
you can find his YouTube channel. YouTube channel has grown. He's gone up almost to 7,000 subscribers. Good for him. Little publicity last night at the Game Awards here. Except here's the problem with all this. As pointed out, Vera, you mentioned you pointed this out on your stream last night.
I did.
Savvy and Kirsha pointed this out pretty much immediately last night. This first from Savvy says, why did the Game Awards and Jeff Keighley present Amir as someone who was laid off, started a tiny YouTube channel, and had the dream of helping other developers? He literally works in IP acquisition. I knew the name was familiar, but I couldn't place it. He's in one of my social maps everywhere. They made it seem like he's been self-employed and just quote-unquote helping people, but he's got one of the most powerful connections under his belt. He works for Tencent. He works for Tencent, and he's an executive here. The business development director, full-time at Tencent Games.
And he also worked at Amazon Game Studio for 4 years.
Yeah. Just, hey, what a game changer here.
Right.
Kirsha says, pretty weird the Game Awards presented this guy as some humble YouTuber who was helping the games industry and didn't mention that he's a director at Tencent. And here's this article once again listing him by name here. During these turbulent times, Amir Sedvat has emerged as an unlikely hero. By day, he's a business developer director at Tencent, where he's responsible for assessing game companies for investment or acquisition. So he's the guy who's literally going to acquire Ubisoft in 2025. Like, this is the dude right here. So he's not some small-time little guy, and I'm sure he loves games, and that's awesome, and that's great. But I feel like this is a total... Like, talk about twisting a narrative.
Right.
When it comes to this situation. And I don't know if you're familiar with the YouTuber Moriarty. Are you familiar with this guy?
Yeah.
Moriarty? He has a brilliant thread about this. And it goes into detail. And I'd like to take a minute to just sit right there while I tell you about a prince of a town called Bel Air. I want to read this thread here because it really goes into good detail. First, Blabs, what are your thoughts on this? This is your first time seeing this.
No, it's not. I saw this live. I actually watched like a good chunk of the Game Awards last night.
Okay, never mind.
But I actually have a statement and then 2 questions. So one, I was listening to Extra Zero talk about this yesterday, and he was like, how ironic would it be if this is the man from Tencent that they used to like buy Ubisoft with? Because he seems like an angelic, innocent person. And I was like, oh, that's a good question, a good point. But I
literally just said that.
I know.
Okay.
And then 2, I would be interested to see how these people couldn't find the jobs, right? He's like, oh, they helped me find jobs. Like, so clearly you're not looking hard enough then if he's just having to throw them out right to you. And second of all the people he's helping find jobs, are they actually fit for the jobs? Or is he just rehiring people who are like shuffled around and actually shit for their jobs?
Yeah, could be the case.
That's the question I have. Like, I'm all for helping people find jobs, but they have to be fit for the job. So why were they fired in the first place?
As pointed out, he is big on DEI. This is over here, celebrating this guy. Talks about women, minorities, disabled gamers, LGBTQ. He is huge when it comes to the DEI aspect of it. It says, and Savvy came in with this conspiracy theory. He says, if I may, with my tinfoil, he installs people who lacks talent in studios Tencent wants to acquire, waits for the studio to tank. Tencent comes in and buys the IP. Tencent profit. This DEI stuff is just to attract them. This is 100% speculation, but I wonder what the crossover is, if any, with Ubisoft. And that's what I'm going to find out. And Savvy has already started to dig. And when she has stuff, I promise she will bring it onto our show. So
it's all very sus.
It is, for sure.
Say the least. Now, I want to go through this thread here. And have either of you seen this thread at all from Moriarty?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
So I saw this as the show was going. So I haven't read through this entire thing, but what I did see, it's pretty good. So there may be some hits or misses here. But Moriarty says, the Game Awards featured a wildly insincere moment they called the Game Changers Award. There's so much wrong with this single moment that I feel the need to highlight each and every part of it separately. I tried to make a single tweet. I tried. It can't be done. For context, the Game Awards has stalwartly refused to acknowledge that anything bad ever happens in the gaming industry. Fact, right? Thousands of people would be laid off and the show would start with, "It's been an incredible year. Gaming's at its best. Let's celebrate." He started off by admitting that layoffs happen, but then wavered and quivered at the idea that he must always remain neutral. This was a very hard decision. Truly, it's impressive how hard it was to say this year's been difficult for some, especially in such a serious moment. Now, I believe this was last year. This looks like last year's set.
Yes.
Then they paraded Amir Sadvat up on the stage after explaining that he, believe it or not, made an Excel spreadsheet that people put their information on if they were laid off. There have been a lot of layoffs for several years, and now there was a spreadsheet. Very excited about this. I don't mean to downplay so hard. If you're one of those people who lost their jobs, I honestly feel for you, and I know no one is going out of their way to help you. So every single little bit helps. Feels like a lot, but this is literally a spreadsheet where you self-input information. When you when your entire plan is ripped away from you, and suddenly the future you thought you had is now an impossible fiction, it can absolutely feel like you need anything. And to be clear, there is now a whole network of other people who have rallied to benefit real resources. Right? It says they brought this man up on stage, and he said he made a spreadsheet, and no one could do anything, and no one else could do anything. They paraded him in front of people who literally fired everyone.
Yep.
It's a room of the people who fired the people you say you're helping. They rewarded you for it. A large chunk of the audience is people who chose to lay off people a month after Christmas or before Christmas. They're planning to lay people off right now. They're going to do it next month. They gave you an award to provide volunteer services for their Mackenzian sacrifices. They clapped for you. The ultimate irony, of course, is that they positioned Amir as some guy who just felt really bad and did all this, quote unquote, for no reason and with no expectations and never asked for anything in return. While that's true, it's not exactly honest. And there's a difference. First, Amir's positioning himself as some sort of expert, number one Google search result for games, jobs, resources that provides exclusive perks and funnels viewers in other people's blogs, most of whom charge for paid speaking gigs, coaching, and career optimization. The Game Awards also positioned Amir as some guy who just felt really bad for everyone, some fan of games who saw this tragedy and felt a need to do something to address it. And while, he's been paraded in front of people who fired everyone, he's at least doing something, except Amir is, surprise, part of the same crowd. Amir finds game companies for 10 cents to acquire after coming from Amazon Games, which collectively had laid off at least 1,000 people. He's not some random guy. He's part of the $490 billion multinational super corporation. Tencent owns Riot Games and has stake in all these games, even Discord, all these companies, including Discord. Tencent represents 50% of China's mobile game market and 35% of the entire game industry. And the most profitable game company, yes, more than Microsoft or Sony or Apple or Google or EA or Nintendo, and beats most of them by double or tripling their earning. So you have an exec for gaming's top company, applauded by gaming's highest execs for creating a self-input spreadsheet and leveraging other people's volunteer labor, receiving an award for helping people laid off by the people applauding the guy who works for one of the offenders.
Yep.
Like, holy shit.
Yep.
And look, great that he's doing anything at all. But wouldn't it be nice if that room full of industry executives representing $500 billion in annual revenue did more than award a guy for making a spreadsheet? And isn't it sad that the very best anyone did was to make a spreadsheet?
I'm really good at making spreadsheets. Give me money. Listen here, Game Awards. Listen here. Give me millions of dollars and I'll help.
I mean, fucking mic drop.
Yeah.
From Moriarty right there.
100%.
I don't know what more you could potentially say about that.
No,
that is,
there's literally nothing. He covered everything.
So, Moriarty, would love to have you on the show. Talk more about this because you fucking murdered it. Outstanding stuff. You guys go check out Moriarty's channel. Tell him we sent you over there.